Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. Welcome back to ERD Stitches. So today we are going to have a tutorial on how to make this beautiful mini travel bag. Before I start, I would like to thank you, my subscribers, for always coming back, and also those stopping by for the first time, please don't leave without subscribing. Okay, then let's go to the cutting table. Okay, this is the leather we are going to use for this tutorial this morning. So the measurement I have here, the height is 13 inches. Is 13 inches, while the width I'm using here is 17 inches. I have two pieces for the body, front and back, and this is the pocket. The pocket at the front, what I have here is 9.5 inches by 17 inches. I've also cut my linings for everything. For the three pieces, I cut linings for it. Okay, this is the gusset I'm using for this tutorial. So this is the down gusset. What I have here is 11 inches for the down gusset by 28 inches, while the zipper gusset I have 9.5 inches by 26 inches. So I have with me here this leather that is 1.5 inches by 14 inches, and I have two pieces of it for my front pocket gusset, the down gusset. So I'm going to join it together. I have with me this zip cloth for the back, the upper cover of the bag. This is 48 inches zip cloth, and I'm using size 7 zip. I have another zip cloth of 23 inches for the front pocket zipper. This is the zip I'm going to use, 23 inches. I have belts here for my D-ring that I'll put by the side of the bag gusset. So I have with me two pieces here, and the length of the belt I'm using is 3 inches belt. So I have another belt here. This is 46 inches belt. I have this one here, 60 inches belt. I have this one, 28 inches belt. I have with me my D-rings. I have 4 D-rings here and 1 adjuster. So you can see I've marked some points here. So what I did here is, on the width side I took 3 inches, and on the height side I took 3 inches also. That's what I used to shape the up. While down here on the height here I took 1.5 inches, while on the width side I also took 1.5 inches. So what I'm going to do now is to connect all the points. What I did here and here is what I will do here and here, and also on the second body. So you can see I've marked some points here. So what I did here is, on the width side I took 3 inches, and on the height side I took 3 inches also. That's what I used to shape the up. While down here on the height here I took 1.5 inches, while on the width side I also took 1.5 inches. So what I'm going to do now is to connect all the points. What I did here and here is what I will do here and here. So the same measurement I have in the front is what I have on the back and also on the pocket. So now what I have to do, you look for any curve any circle something that can connect the 2 points, use it to shape it. You see what I did here is what I will do here. I will do here and also here, and this, all these ones, then I will cut everything out. Okay, I'm done shaping everything, and this is what I have. So I'm going to use my leather to shape my lining. Then I will place my front pocket on the lining, as you can see. Then I'll sew it together. So I'm going to shape this my zipper gusset. So when you look at this my zipper gusset, you can see that I've done some markings here. So I'm going to explain to you what I did here. So on this side I took 1 inch. On this side also I took 1 inch. So on this side I took 19 inches. You can see it, 19 inches. Here also I took 19 inches. I connected everything as a straight line. So for me to get this curve shape here, what I did is I took 1.5 inches this way. I also took 1.5 inches this way. On this side also I took 1.5 inches from here to here. Then on this side also I took 1.5 inches. Then I now connected it with a curved line. That's what I did. So now I'm going to cut it open. So this is what I have after cutting it out. So I'm going to keep it aside. So now for my front leather, now what I'm going to do, I'm going to, from here I will come down by 3 inches. Or I'm taking 3.5 inches. I'm coming down by 3.5 inches. 3.5 inches. This is for the front. I'm working on the front now. So now after taking the 3.5 inches from up here, I've gotten the midpoint of this my leather. So from this my midpoint, I'm going to take another 3.5 inches here. 3.5 inches here. I will also take it on this side also, 3.5 inches. So on that 3.5 inches, I'm going to pick my leather of 3 inches length. That's what I'm going to pick now. I'll bring my D-ring. I'll put it inside this way. So on this is where my 3.5 inches ended. So from that place, I will now put it this way and sew. Make sure it's on this 3.5. You know we came down by 3.5 inches. So I'll put it. So from here to this place now is 3.5 inches. Then I'm going to sew it. Then I will also put the second one, place it here. You can see my marking. You seeing it? My marking. Then I will also sew it. This is for the front leather. Then while for the back leather is still the same thing, coming down and also 3.5 inches there. But the only difference is that I'm going to pick my leather of 48 inches. So I'm going to place it on it this way. This is for the back. For the back, this is how I'm going to sew the back with my leather or my belt of 48 inches. So I'm going to sew it. I will sew it this way, this way, this way, and this way. It will stop on these 3.5 inches that we came down with. On this side also, I will sew it. When I get to that 3.5 inches that we came down with, I will sew it this way, sew it down. Remember, this is my 3.5 inches, but from here to here, 3.5 inches, from here to here, 3. So these are what I'm going to do. I'm going to sew my belt on both the front and the back leather. So I'm done sewing my D-ring and also my belt. So now I'm going to work on the front pocket gusset. I'm going to work on the front pocket gusset. So I keep this aside. Okay, now we are going to sew our gusset to our zipper. As you can see, I have already fixed my zip head. So make sure you fix your zip head before you start anything to avoid forgetting it. So this is the zipper for the front pocket, and this is the leather I'm using for the gusset and the lining. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to place my leather in front. Right side of my leather will be facing the right side of my zip cloth. I'll place it this way, place my lining under, and I will stitch it. I will also bring this side, do the same thing to this side, place my leather and also my lining under and stitch. Okay, you can see I'm done sewing it. So I will push it this way. Make sure that the lining and the leather are together this way. I will top stitch it here and also stitch this side. I will also do same to this one. So this is what I have now after top stitching it. You can see it. So what I did is that I brought the two joint points together this way and notched my zip close to the middle of my zip close. You can see I've notched it. So now I'm going to add a down gusset to it. So what I'm going to do is that from this midpoint, and I have to measure it round to know what I have when I measure it round. I have 47.5 inches here. So now for me to know how many inches I'll be adding as the down gusset, I have to measure what I have here for this up one now. Remember, it's 47.5 inches we got. Here I have 38.25 inch. So what you will do is that you minus 38.25 inches from 47.5 inches. Whatever that it gives you, you add half inch to it for sewing allowance. That is what your down gusset will be. So this is my down gusset now. What I'm going to do is that I'm going to put it right side facing each other, the down one, this one. Then I'll put my lining under and sew. I will also do same on this side. Okay, now I'm going to get the mid of the down. I'll bring this together. If you do the right thing, see, this is the place that I notched before. Everything aligned, so I have to notch it also up and down. Now I will bring my front pocket. I'll turn this to the wrong side. So on this, my zipper cloth side will be up. This is my cuff for the up side. I put it at the midpoint. Remember, this folded part here is our center front as our midpoint. You put it here and clip. I will also clip the down part. Put it together and also clip it down. Then I will arrange it and sew it round. So I'm done sewing it round to sewing the gusset to my front pocket leather. So now I'm going to turn it to the right side. When I turn it to the right side, I will push this my seam allowance towards my leather this way. Then I will top stitch it round. So this is what I have now after top stitching it. So now I'm going to sew it to my front leather. This is my front leather now. So I'm going to place it this way. You see, it should be this way at the end. So what you will do is that you move it back this way. This is my notch point and this folded line is my center front. You make sure that your notch, and you are sewing on this line that you have sewed before. So you make sure that your notch point and your center front is together. Then you arrange it and sew till you get to the end. But if you will be confused to know maybe on where to sew, you can place it on your front this way and trace it. Use something to trace the line before you now sew. But me, I can sew this way. So that's what I'm going to do, and I'm going to sew it round. So you can see I've sewn my zipper till this point. I've also sewn this side to this point. So now what I'm going to do now, after I've done this, I will just keep my zipper this way. I'll start from here and sew it. When I get to this place my curve point is, I will fold it in quarter inch and sew it from down here to here. I will give half-inch space and start top stitching it on it. I'll just fold it in this way. You see what I'm doing? And start top stitching. That's what I'm going to do now. Till when I get to this my curve point again, this on this side, I will place my pocket. I will place it on this one this way and sew it down straight. I hope you understand what I just explained now. So I'm done stitching the pocket. So this is what I have now after stitching the pocket. You can see how it is. I went in by 1 inch. You know, initially I said half inch, but I later went in by 1 inch because I want my pocket to puff up very well so that it can contain a lot of things. So that's why I push it up so that it can, by the time I'm done, it can puff up like this. So from here to here is 1 inch. So now, if you look at this inside, I don't like this roughness here. So I'm going to use my 1.5 inch belt. I'll fold in this edge and also this edge. I'll fold it in, place it on it this way, and stitch. I will stitch it this way. Here also you will fold it in. I'll stitch here, I'll come this way and also stitch it this way. So that's what I'm going to do now. So I'm done covering that roughness. You can see that it's neater now. So now the next thing I'm going to do to this now is I will bring my lining. This is my lining. I'll place it on my lining this way. Then I will use my piping cord to pipe it round. I will do the same to this. If you are putting logo, because it seems I'm going to put logo here now. So if you are putting logo, you have to put your logo first at the center front here. Put your logo first before you put your lining. So I'm going to put a logo here. That's what I will do first before I pipe it round. I will also pipe this one round. So I'm going to sew my lining to my gusset. This is the wrong side of my lining and it is facing the wrong side of my leather. So I'll place it on it this way. So I'm going to sew it this way. That's what I'm going to do now. So I'm done sewing it round. Now I'm going to cut out the lining here. This lining here, I'm going to cut it out because we will use it for this. We'll use the lining for this. Okay, I'm done cutting out the lining now. So this is what I have. So the next thing I'm going to do now is I'm going to pipe it this way. I'll use my piping cord to pipe here this way. I'll put my lining under, put my leather this way, and also use my piping cord to pipe it this way. So I want to explain something to you. So as I was piping this, I've started here to pipe. So on getting here, I noticed that this cord is about to cut from here. So now I cannot leave it like this and continue. So what I'm going to do now, I will use my leather to tape that particular place, because it's not good for us to leave it that way. So by the time I tape it, it will come out this way. So that's what I'm going to do now. Okay, I'm done piping it. You can see I piped everything. So I'm keeping this aside. I'm working on this too now. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to sew my zipper to this. So this is my zipper. I'll just bring the right side of my zipper will face this my piping cord this way. Make sure you left like 1 inch extra here. So I'll just put it and sew it round. So I'm done sewing my zipper. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to get the mid of this now, of this my zip. I want to get the mid. So as this is the mid now, I will indicate it. I want to mark the mid so that when I'll be fixing my zip head, everything will correspond. So this is my mid now. So I'm going to open this zipper. I'll keep this one aside. I'll get the midpoint of this one. So I'll bring this my zip cloth, this midpoint. I'll make sure that it match with this midpoint here. This one and this one, put them together and arrange it and sew it round on this. That's what I'm going to do now. So when I'm done sewing it round, I will tape it at once. I will also tape this one. So I'm done sewing my zip and also taping my work. You can see it. So now I'm going to fix my zip head. So after fixing my zip head, this is what I have now. So when you look at this side, this side is, when you look at here, you see that this side is excess. The same thing goes here. If you do the right thing, the excess you have from where this one stop as in the excess you have here will be equal to the excess you have here. So what I'm going to do now is that I'm going to wash it. I'll bring this taping together this way. I'll also bring this together. So I will turn it this way and stitch it down. I'll just stitch it down this way. I will also close the stitch this way, this way, this way, and also this way. So for this gusset, I'm also going to get the middle of this gusset. This is my down gusset. I'm going to sew, what I want to sew now is my D-ring for the long belt. So now that I've gotten it, I will bring my D-ring. This is my D-ring. So I have with me this is 1.5 inch belt, and what I have here is 3 inches. I have 2 pieces. This is my leather. This way is 1.5 inch by 3 inches. So I'm going to use it for my D-ring. So what I will do is I'll put my leather on top of the belt and stitch it round. Why I'm doing this is I don't want the handle to cut easily, so I want it to be very strong. So I will sew it round. I will also place this one on this one and sew it round. So I'm done sewing it. So I will bring my down gusset now. I've already marked the midpoint on both side edge. So I'll just put my D-ring inside this like this and place it on this my center and sew. I will also do the same on this side. Okay, as you can see, I'm done sewing my D-ring. So I'll keep this aside. So the next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to sew my handle, my belt to this D-ring here. I'll just fix it in like this, hold it this way and stitch. I will fix the second one also and hold it and also stitch it. Okay, this is what I have after stitching it. So I'm going to trim off the excess I have here. I'm going to work on this down gusset. Now we are going to join this and this together, but when you look at this, we see that this is smaller than this. There is no how. Look at it as I placed it on it now. You can see it as I placed it together. You can see that it's not of the same size. There is excess on both sides. So we are going to work on it so that the two will be equal. So when you measure this front, now what I have here is 9.5 inches on the front upper gusset. So when you measure the down gusset, I have 11 inches on the down gusset. So what I'm going to do now is 11 inches minus 9.5 inches will give me 1.5 inches difference. So that 1.5 inches, when you divide it by 2, it will give you 3/4 inches. So on both sides, I'm taking 3/4 inches on both sides. Like the same thing also on here, I take 3/4 inches. Then on here I will come down by 5.5 inches here. Here I will come down by 5.5 inches also. So remember I said I'm taking 3/4 inches. 3/4 inches. So what I will do now is that I will just put my ruler on that 3/4 inches and slat it to the 5.5 inches point. The way I'll put it now. So I will trim it off. I will do same here, also here and here. So this is what I have now after shaping it. You can see this side also. This is what I have after shaping it. I hope you are seeing it. So now the next thing I'm going to do now is to sew it to this my upper gusset. So I'll just put my leather together, right side facing each other. You see, it's equal here now. Hope you are seeing it. It's equal now. So I'm going to sew my gusset together now. So what I'm going to do now is that I'll put my lining under my front gusset, then my down gusset will be on top of my front gusset, right side facing each other. I will sew it together. I will also do the same thing on this side. I'll bring them together and sew together. Okay, you can see I'm done sewing it. So I'm going to turn my leather this way now. So I'm going to top stitch on it and stitch it to here. I will also top stitch here and also stitch this side. Okay, I'm done top stitching it. So now I'm going to get the midpoint of this, both the up and the down. You fold it together, make sure that the joining point is together. And notch it here and also notch it here. We'll turn it this way, bring it together again, notch here, and also notch here. You bring your front and back leather also, notch the midpoint. Also down, you notch the midpoint on the down also. So after notching it now, the next thing is to sew our gusset to our front and back leather. So what we'll do now is, I'm going to turn my gusset to the wrong side. So this is my front. This place that has the opening is supposed to be on the upper side, while this down gusset will be on the down side. So I'll put it front and match the two midpoint together. I'll come here and bring the midpoint together. So I will arrange it now. Arrange it round. Make sure that this your belt is inside It has to be inside. So I'll just go to my machine now. I'll just be arranging it on my leather and be sewing it until I sew it round. I will now put the second one here. It will face up this way. The wrong side will be facing up. I also arrange it and sew it round. So you can see I'm done sewing my gusset to my front and back leather. You can see it now. This is what I have after sewing it. So the next thing I'm going to do now is to tape my work round so that I will have a neat finishing. So I'm done taping it. This is what I have now after taping it. So now is the time for us to turn our back to the right side. So this is what we have now after turning it to the right side, and this brings us to the end of this tutorial. If this tutorial has been helpful, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up. You can give this bag a trial. It's very easy to make, very simple. Please subscribe to my channel if you have not subscribed, like my videos, share my videos, and comment when necessary. You drop your comment. Anytime I come online, I will reply to your comment. So thank you for watching. See you in the next tutorial.